Ambitious and motivated are words that describe you best. Then you're on the right place. This is Motivational Radio Friends from Paris with your host, Longi Agoha.
People have a tendency to neglect the small things, like waking up in the morning, not being sick, for example, having a job, having a family, children, and all that. We have a tendency to neglect all that because it becomes a norm. So how would anybody become conscious of this? Saying that I have a family and that is very important. Yes, because the question is being happy, being grateful, like you said, is very, very, very important. But we have a tendency to classify them as normal. It's no longer a big deal, kind of. If for example, you don't have a job, if for example, somebody does not have a job, and then he has a family that loves him, he has his parents and all that, he tends to focus on not having a job as a big problem and forget the rest and, the small ones. Mm-hmm. Yes. How would I know? What is it that will make me conscious of being grateful so that I can say, oh, thank God, or I don't know, whatever anybody believes in, to be grateful about the small thing?
There's a couple of ways you can do it. One is when you're doing your gratitude journal, as you start doing that, it will pull different things to mind. One thing that I suggest people do sometimes is have some 3x5 cards and write things that they're grateful for and carry those 3x5s with them. Maybe put a different one on your dashboard or down by your cup holder each day and look at it. I'm grateful that I still have my parents. See, I have neither one of my parents. So people sometimes complain and say, my mom was a pain the other day. She did this or did that. I said, I wish my mom could have done that. It puts things into perspective. So sometimes we're thankful for our siblings. We can be thankful for our children. We can be thankful for our family. So take little 3x5 cards, maybe write one thing on it, and have a stack of 20, 30, 40 of those, and carry them with you. Have some in your car, have some in your office, have some in your bedroom, whatever it is. And when you look at that, it will remind you that the little things really are important.
Okay. All right.
The third one, under positive, is to be giving. Give of yourself. Give more of yourself. Put more light into the world than you take out of the world. We all know people. In fact, one of my favorite statements is, I believe everybody brings joy to a room. Some when they enter and some when they leave. Be the type of person that when you walk into a room, people are happy that you're there, that you carry a positive energy. I can come up to you, Longi, if you turned in a report to me and it wasn't exactly correct, I could come up and say, Longi, I don't believe you gave me this report and it's all messed up, and I could be really negative. Or I could say, hey, Longi, on this report, I noticed some of the numbers are not quite correct. Can we get this updated? I just said the same thing. Can we change the report? But I brought light into the world. I noticed there's a couple of things. Can we get updated? Is there any way I can help or something like that? Be gift, smile. If you have the financial resources, give to charities. Give to your church if you go to a church. But be giving. Give something of yourself. Help others. Coach people for free if you have a skill. Be a mentor. People that are giving tend to be much happier and much more positive. It's just the way that we're wired. So I would suggest the third point under being positive, no matter what your situation, you should still be giving.
That's it. So give a part of your time, your skill, your energy, whatever you have, the talent that God gave you, give some of them out free of charge. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Great.
And then the third one is to be productive, being productive.
Okay.
This is the bottom part of the present, positive, and productive. And no one of these is more important than the other. If you're present, but you're not positive and you don't do much, nobody wants to be around you. So you can say, well, just if I show up. Well, showing up's important. But if you say, well, if I'm positive, if I'm a really happy person, yeah, but if you're not present, if you're always late or you don't show up or you're not productive, you don't do anything while you're here, even if you're positive. And then you say, well, I'm really, really productive. Yeah, but if you're really negative, nobody wants to be around you. Or if you're really, if you're not here all the time or you're not here when you're supposed to be. So the third part of present, positive, and productive, under productive, the first bullet point I would suggest is to be prepared. To be prepared. So when you're on your way into work, think about what you're going to accomplish that day. If you're a speaker, be prepared. Make sure that you've studied your material, that you have your facts and details straight, that you've practiced, that you are prepared. As a parent, read books on parenting. As a spouse, I have on my iPhone, I have a book called Just for Men. and it is recorded by a couple, but it's mostly the man who is recording it telling me the research that he and his wife did, understanding the differences between men and women. That helps me to be prepared to be a better husband. It's something that I study. Be prepared.
All the time.
Yeah, just whatever you're going to do, be as prepared as possible. You can't always be 100% prepared for everything, but some time and be prepared. Oh, but Guy, I don't have time to be prepared. Well, I suggest that the fact that you're not prepared costs you time, because sometimes you make mistakes and you have to redo things. I suggest if you'll steal a little bit of time, maybe from watching less TV, or maybe from stop complaining and take that time that you would have been complaining and prepare. Because the second part of being productive is to be improving. Constantly be doing something for yourself every day. Listening to this radio show is improving. People listen to the radio show because they do want their lives to be better, and they know that they found a wonderful host. So be improving. Do something for yourselves every day. When you're driving in the car, instead of listening to the radio, maybe half of your commute you listen to a motivational CD. Or instead of watching a rerun of a show that you've seen twice, maybe you watch a half-hour DVD on presentation skills, on being a better manager, a better leader, a better husband, a better parent. So always be improving. Always be thinking about wherever I am today, my goal is tomorrow to be better at that. So how can I improve?
That's it. Yeah, someone just said, that reminds me of something someone said, that if you're not improving or you're not preparing very well, then you're preparing to fail. If you're not improving, then you're preparing to fail. So it's all about improving on a daily basis, redoing the things every day that will inch you towards your goal and take you right to where you want to be. And the last one?
And the last point under being productive, be the best. Be the best. And in speaking, there's something called circular openings and closings, where whatever you open with, if you'll close with it, then it kind of wraps it up for your audience. I'm going to wrap this up with being the best, because remember our first point under present was to be committed.
That's right.
And those two go hand in hand. Be committed, be best. Whatever you do in life, if you are a speaker, be the best speaker. If you're a manager, be the best manager. If you're a mom, be the best mom. If you're a husband, if you're a child, be the best child you can be to your parent. When you look in the mirror, it all boils down to, at the end of the night, when you look in the mirror, you can look in there and say, I was the best me I could have been today. I could not have done any better. And the reality is, most days you look back and say, I could have done something better. We don't beat ourselves up. We say, tomorrow, I'm going to improve on that. And then tomorrow I'll be able to say I was the best me I could be every day. So every single day, if we'll look in the mirror at the end of the day and say, I was the best me I could have been, I absolutely believe you will have success in every area of your life.
Thank you very much. This is an eye-opener. It's something that opens the eye. I can't thank you enough for giving me time, giving this time. I know you have a very busy schedule. You run around from the US to Europe and back again, and maybe one day to Africa. Who knows? Because many of our listeners are Africans, okay? And I hope one day you would have time to go to Africa and, teach us exactly in practical terms all the things you've just said. One day you will have the time to do it.
It's actually on my bucket list of things to do is to get to Africa, especially South Africa. I really, really do want to go there. Australia is this year, but I may make it to South Africa next year. I really do want to go down there.
Oh, great. That'd be wonderful. So how can our listeners, how can we get to know you very well? Do you have a website, where we can go to or something like that?
I do. Thank you for asking. My website is the word success and then ANDBEYOND, success and beyond. It's all one word, SUCCESS.
Yes.
ANDBEYOND. The number 4 and the letter U, Success and Beyond for You. Okay. Our whole company is focused on other people, creating success for you. So the name of the website is successandbeyondforyou.com.
Oh.
As you know, my name is Guy Burns.
Yeah.
Don't Google Guy Burns. That won't work for you because Guy and Burns are both generic. You'll end up with a guy burns up in his car and a guy burns up his house. So it's pretty hard to Google Guy Burns because both of my names are too generic.
Okay. So
Success and Beyond, you'll see some of the products that we have available, some of the new products that are coming out, and some of the features, some of the blogs that are up. It's a brand new website, and there's still some of the content is being put up now, so within the next 3 to 4 weeks, it will be a completely robust website with some downloadable freebies that you'll be able to have on there. In fact, there's some free things on there now that you can go to and pull down a free report if your listeners wanted to get something like that.
That's very nice. I hope one day you will come back and give us more talks about. I hope one day you will do that.
I would love to do that, and I know, in fact, next month I get to see you face to face, hopefully. hopefully, because I'll be in Paris next month. So maybe we can set up and schedule something next time I'm in town.
That's great. Thank you very much. The American Guy Bonds, who has accepted to really give us the interview about his products, what he does, and all the rest. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Laundry.
Thank you. This podcast was brought to you by the Motivational Radio France with their host, Longi Agoha in Paris.